Culture and Language by Ana María Escosaro. Hola, me llamo Ana María. Español es mi primer idioma. ¿Hablas español? Spanish is more than just my native language. It is my cultural identity, my roots, sown by my parents and the environment I grew up in, Lima, Peru. How I process information and develop relationships has been hardwired into my brain through my first language and the shared social patterns of my culture. What is the relationship between language and culture? I recognize that learning another language instills and nurtures cultural competence. We live in a diverse world full of differences and often unnoticing similarities that are being articulated through language and culture, shaping and defining our identities. Learning another language provides opportunity for respecting, communicating, understanding, engaging, and ultimately accepting other cultures. Cultural competence is the will and the ability to form authentic and effective relationships across cultural differences. Language is the medium that leads us to cultural competence. It is the unique human ability that allows us to use and create words to express our thoughts, feelings, needs, and desires. What we hear and say impacts the way we think, feel, and believe. Communication is the human interaction in which language plays a pivotal role. Language and culture matters in education. When we teach, we provide guidance, elicit feedback, and motivate our students to acquire knowledge. Kamehameha schools in Hawaii illustrates to us the important impact that culture has in education. Embracing a cultural-based education results in an indisputable evidence that children thrive in an environment that fosters a learning process that they can relate to.
Peo puni palapala ko'u. Mine is the kingdom of education is a quote attributed to Hawaii's King Kamehameha III, Kauikeouli, and is a testament to the value placed on education in our society. Hawaii is home to the oldest public school system west of the Mississippi and some of the world's top private education institutions. We had a strong system of lifelong learning requisite to the survival of the ohana and entire community. Young and old had kuleana, and skills were constantly being honed and perfected at various halau or learning environments. We have traditional sayings that speak to the ways learning is ingrained in our cultural practices. Makahana ka'ike, learning is in doing. A'ohe pou ka'ike I ka halau ho'okahi, all knowledge is not gained in one place. These culture-based ways of teaching, learning, and motivating are still relevant and powerful and are being applied once again in Hawaii's educational systems today with great success.
Culture is part of education. Culture has been part of the educational process since the beginning of human civilization. So it's not rocket science that culture matters in teaching and learning and provides a positive context for students in schools and in other educational settings.
Education is presumed to be the vehicle through which we transmit culture, cultural values and norms and practices. And when you have educational institutions that are in some fundamental way at odds with the cultural norms, practices, and behaviors of the community, it creates a very difficult learning environment. It creates an environment that's not inviting for a lot of students.
The inherent benefits of a culture-based approach to education was the motivation for the Hawaiian Cultural Influences in Education study conducted by Kamehameha School's Research and Evaluation Division. The study examined the relationship between Hawaiian culture-based education strategies and student outcomes, both socio-emotional and educational, and the results of the study confirmed the value of culture-based approaches to the educational aspirations of students.
What we're finding in the statistical data that we now have for the first time, and it's a fairly cutting-edge kind of research project, is evidence that supports what we've always known at an ao level, at the gut level, that culture matters.
Dr. Gary Howard, professor and author on the subject of cultural competence, explains that cultural responsive teaching engages culturally and linguistically diverse students and allows them to achieve a fuller and a richer understanding of different languages and cultures without giving up their own. Also, the National Education Association advocates that teachers should respect the students' cultures, encourage dialogue in the classroom, include and honor all the students, and value what they bring from different cultures to the school community. In a world that becomes more interconnected every day, language is the primary means for communication and, in a large part, of this interconnection. Teaching second language in a school becomes a key subject, fostering cultural competence and preparing our students for the 21st century. Let's teach and learn other languages and embrace diversity.